Okay, this is practice number 7. So this is actually a sheet metal part, and so fairly easy for us to build these by drag and drop. Basically, give you some overall dimensions inside of here. The key thing is we're probably going to do a mirror of this geometry, and if you drop this on as an outbend, you notice this edge will be shorter. So you have to need to put something like this tab here as your reference information, so that when this gets shorter, you can actually get the right mirror location on that. So that's one thing to worry about this one, but otherwise it's fairly easy to build with our sheet metal. So let's go ahead and build this one. So let me move this over out of the way. And the first thing we'll do is drop out a stock. Inside of here, it really doesn't matter because they want you to set the thickness of this to be 3 and the minimum bend radius is 5 as part of the requirements on the drawing. So that gives us our base. And we know this overall width of this is 116. And the height of this is actually going to be 105 minus 8 because we have a bend on the bottom. So that's our value of 97 for our height there. Okay, so next thing, I'll just go ahead and add this bend on the bottom for our reference. So that's just going to drop in our distance correctly here. And it's going to be a distance out from here, 30 from the back end. So we can say at a distance from point, we just pick that back edge. That's going to be 30 in there to give our starting point. Now we know this needs to be offset 8 inside of here. So we'll just select our value minus 8 on that, and the actual overall length is going to be 100. So this one I can type in 100 on that one to get our placement for that particular shape. Next, we're going to do an outbend, and we're going to do an outbend with stock because we're going to modify this. So we'll just drop that outbend with stock on side of there. And this is where I was talking about this edge now. Their center point is shifted a little bit since we took away the edge. That's why we need this reference piece here. Anyways, so now we can go in here to either part, and again, we can edit distance from point. In this case, we can select the top edge or this back face, and we know this needs to be 100 in that direction. So that's going to give us our overall distance inside of there, and we can go ahead and edit this cross section to give us our shape. And so what we want to do here is basically just pull this down first to give us our angle. We can come up here, select our curve, disconnect that, select it again, just move it off here. So we got it, move it off there. So it's just got a distance off of there. Next, we can draw our 2-point line here. And I'm just going to drop it right on this point here. And I can set that value as actually as 12 for that. So we know that's 12 from this back side here. We can connect that here and connect that there. So that simply gives us our shape there. And we'll go ahead and lock this point because we're going to change this angle down here. So we want to lock that point and lock that position as well. And we can actually, if we want to, we can create that lock there as well. Now we can add our smart dimension for this guy, and the value for this is 37. So we'll just place that, type in 37. That will change our angle and give us exactly what we're trying to achieve, and hit finish, and that gives us our shape. So that's kind of the starting point of that. Next, we're going to drop another bend on this bottom edge here, and the distance of this is actually 50 on that. And again, we can edit the outside distance from point here, and that is actually 35 on there. And there's a hole that we need to add onto this, so we'll just drop our hole in here. I'll just drop it on the center for now. But basically, that is actually got a distance. If we look at this, it's sent out basically from this inside edge of our hole here. So this is actually our inside edge here. It's going to be offset value of 15 from that. So we can just move that in 15 to place that. Okay, so now we have our hole in place here, and that value is actually supposed to be 12. Let's make sure we set that to 12 for that diameter. Now we need to add a few blends here. So we can go ahead and add our blends on this just using the blend edge command. This one up here, we know this needs to be 30, I believe. 30 for that radius. And then we can pick these other ones. Here, this is going to be 6, and this one's 6, that one's 6, and that one is 6 as well. And hit enter to place that. So that gives us our basic shape for that. And last, we can go ahead and select our mirror feature command. In our case, we're going to select our part. We're going to select our plane as this edge here, and then we can select our features. We're going to select our bend, our stock, our other bend. Then we select our blend features, this one, and our hole to give our shape that we want to create, and hit OK. That gives us the opposite side there. So that's basically giving us our overall shape. And last, we have to drop our hole here on the center of this, and we can go ahead and set that to a value of 82 for that. So that should give us our entire shape here using our sheet metal design capabilities in IronCAD. Again, this one, if you go into the properties, it has a specific, oops, if we go to part properties, it wants to set a material value, mass density of 7,800 inside of there. And if you hit OK, that should give you the value of 585, 393. For that should give you the correct answer there, I believe. So that's the way to build that shape inside of there. And if you want to just do some dimensions, you can do some reference dimensions here. That's the 12 from there. That's their 116 from there. That's our 97 to there, 100. Let me get that bottom face, 100. Oop, that's supposed to be 105, correct? 105 for that. So that's basically our shape there. And of course, that's our 100 there. These are all set correctly. So that's the shape, building an IronCAD sheet metal, fairly easy to do. And of course, it is sheet metal. In our case, if we need to unfold it, we've got the unfolded flat pattern inside of there as well. So there you go. That's how you build this one in IronCAD sheet metal.